everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting two models at once. I mean, it's one model with two of the very bestest of friends together. Yes, I'm of course talking about the Fusil-Major, him, on Ogor Warhulk. Them, right there. This is a really cool model, really like this one. Looking forward to painting this one. It should be a good time, and it's been sent to me early by Games Workshop to build up and paint for all of you, and that is exactly what we are doing today in the colours of Hammerhal Aqsha, because it's my favourite and it's the one I've done the most of, and it's the box art. So with all that out of the way, it has been primed in grey cere, and the colour we're going to be using first is Gore-Grunta Fur, and we're going to be applying this over the top of our ogre's tunic. So we're just going to start in there, and we're going to apply this over the top. Just like this. Now I've actually used a little bit too much on my brush there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to very gently move my brush across the surfaces where I've got a little bit too much, just to let that contrast paint continue on its merry way, rather than just kind of settling in the places that I don't want it to. But we're going to be applying this all over the tunic, and whilst that does look like it is just the bottom half of him, there is a little bit of it that you can see on the top half, just up here and just under there as well. So make sure you don't miss that, and do just check the underside as well, so you don't miss any of that like I've done just there. There we go. And then we're just going to continue on. So with that Gore-Grunta Fur all applied, we're then going to take some Black Legion, and we're going to apply this over the top of the ogre's trousers and the ogre's undershirt. So with that now done, what we're going to do is we're going to take a roughly 2 parts Cygor Brown to 1 part contrast medium mix. I'm going to use this over the top of all of the remaining leather details. So we've got that bit just there, and that's wood. So then we're going to do this bit under here, and we've got a bit up here. And then we've got more strappage. That's the technical term. Strappage. Coming up and around. The shoulder. We've got the gloves, got the wraps on the boots. All of that good stuff. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Wyldwood, and we're going to apply this over the top of some of the wood. So we're looking for essentially this bit here this bit round here. We're going to continue round. Like that. Then we are going to do the whole of this post as well. This is where things get interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the top here with a full brush load. Going to bring it down. And then because I overspilled here, we're going to come up this side. Bring it round. Make sure you watch out for the back. We're going to keep going. We want to do the underside of the crow's nest. It's not a cockpit, he's not driving him. There we go. And keep going. Down the side. Like that. Just check the underside up there. See, we've missed a bit on that little support strut, which we want to get. You can check the other side as well. So now what we're also going to do in terms of some of the wood is we're going to apply Wyldwood over the top of the bottom decking of the crow's nest. So in here, like that. You can access all of it if you're fully assembled. And then on the crow's nest itself, we're going to paint in the frame. Of the wood. Coming around this way. Up to there like that. And then, as mentioned, we got the frame of the cockpit. It's not a cockpit, it's a crow's nest. You know of what I speak. Like that. And then we've got the other strut here. Just like that. We need to do this on the other struts here And we also need to do this on the inside track underneath the shield. So with all that Wyldwood applied, as you can see, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Blood Angels Red and we're going to use this to do two things. Firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to use this over the top of our large leather straps. Here on the chest, as well as like the cushioning. Like that sort of thing. A little bit more cushioning on this side that I'm purely doing on camera so I don't forget it. There you go. But what we're also going to do with the Blood Angels Red is you can use this to paint in any of the over the top of any of the other Cygor Brown details. But the other thing we're going to do now is we're going to apply this Blood Angels Red over the top of all of our remaining wood. So talking about the shield and the crow's nest. Just like this. So with that now done, what we're going to do is we're going to use Black Legion once again. And what we're going to be using this for is quite a few different details. So firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to start picking out all the trim on the shield. Like that sort of thing. And we'll do a little bit more, but we've also got the trim here on the middle. Just around there, like that. What we've also got to paint in is the handle of our ogre's weapon. So in there and coming down here, we've got the handle of the little gladius type thing that he's carrying, which is in here. And that sort of thing. And then we've also got the trim up here on the crow's nest. We've got these little Sigmarite icons. We've got the gargoyles off the sides. We've got the fancy bit just here. All this good stuff. We're also going to paint in the ogre's hair and beard. And I think that's about it for now. So with all of that Black Legion now applied, as you can see, we've applied it over the top of the boots here as well, on the Fusil-Major himself. What we're going to do next is we're going to take some Skeleton Horde. And we're going to apply this over the top of this bit of the shield, as well as the diamond. Just above it. Like so. We're going to apply this over some of the paper. So I'm going to apply it over this one. Just here. And this one. There. And this large bit just here. Like so. And we're also going to apply this over the top of the ogre's teeth, because we've got it open, and over the top of the two ropes. So we've got that one there. Like that. Put this one down here. There's actually 3 ropes, thinking about it. There's the one around the gun. Like that. And we have these diamonds. And with that done, it's back to Blood Angel's Red. I'm going to use this over the top of our remaining paper. So with that done, what we're going to do now is we're going to take some Fyreslayer Flesh and we're going to apply this over the top of the ogre's face and neck. And so with that done, what we're going to do now is we're going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors and we're going to apply this over, well, pretty much all of the remaining details on the ogre We haven't done much on the Major yet. We're going to get the Ogre fully base coated and then we'll focus on him. So with that done, we've got pretty much all of our base coats on the Ogre. So we're now going to work on the Major up the top. The colour we're going to be using first here, or rather the next colour, because we've done a couple of things like the boots in black and his undershirt in red. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take some Gryph-Hound Orange. I'm going to apply this over the top of his kind of skirt and tunic. So with that Gryph-Hound Orange applied, what we're then going to do is take some Garaghak Sewer, and we're going to use this over the top of his leather wraps on his boots. Like so. And we're going to use this over the top of his gloves. Like that. And we're also going to use this over the little hanging leather vials. Across his chest. Which I'm assuming are his shot cartridges. And with that done, we're then going to take some Cygor Brown. I'm going to apply this over the top of the frame of the weapon. And additionally, we're also going to apply this over the top of any belts and leather details that he's got remaining. And with that done, we're then going to take some Guilliman Flesh and apply this over the top of his face. And with that Guilliman Flesh applied, we're then going to take some Basilicanum Grey. I'm going to apply this over the top of his moustache and his hair. And so with that done, we're then going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors, and we're going to apply this over the top of, well, all of the remaining details on our Major. So with that now done, there is just one base coat left to apply on our Fusil-Major and Ogor Warhulk, and that is to take some Iyanden Yellow. We're going to apply this to the lantern. So with that done, we've got all of our base coats on our Ogor Warhulk, so it is time to add some shades. And the first of these is going to be some Reikland Fleshshade, and we're going to apply this over the top of, well, all of our leather. So we've got the red leather, the brown leather, and we've got the Gore-Grunta Fur here. As well. Just going to change to a medium layer brush there. Don't know why I had a small layer brush in hand. This is much more sensible. But what we can also do here is we can use this Reikland Fleshshade to shade the ogre's face. With all that Reikland Fleshshade applied, we're then going to take some Carroburg Crimson. I'm going to use this over the top of the red wood. And so with that done, we're then going to take some Targor Rageshade. I'm going to use this to shade all of the black and all of the silver. So with all those shades applied, our Fusil-Major on Ogor Warhulk is now at what I would call a Warhipster battle ready, but we're not going to leave him there. Of course, we're going to take him to the next level. I'm going to do this by adding some highlights. And the first of these is going to be some thinned down Zandri dust. I'm going to use this to pick out the kind of trim on the ogre's tunic. Just like this sort of thing. And with that done, we're then going to take some thinned down Deathclaw Brown, and we're going to use this to highlight the Gore-Grunta Fur. So with that all done, we're now going to do a biggie. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Administratum Grey. I'm going to use this to highlight all of our hard black details. So we're looking for those bits of trim and kind of metal areas. So with all that Administratum Grey applied, as you can see, the model really starts to come together as those kind of real key places really leap out at you. So what we're going to do is work on another colour that does the same thing, and that is going to be all the silver. The colour we're going to be using to highlight all of that is some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm just going to start just here, across the gorget. Out all of these edges. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Storm Vermin Fur. I'm going to use this to highlight quite a few of the different black details. In fact, we're going to use this to highlight all our remaining black details that aren't the kind of solid armory bits. So we're looking to pick out things like the trousers, the boots, the hair on our ogre, the shirt, all of it. So with that all done, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Befiston Red. I'm going to use this to highlight all the red leather which we got going on around here. So with all that Raphiston red applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Evil Sun Scarlet, and we're going to use this to highlight all of our other red details, so particularly focusing on the shield. Now this is going to be one of those ones where you just want to take your time here and pick out the grain of the wood. You don't have to do all of it if you don't want to. You can just pick out some little patches just to create some really nice little bright variation patches. But whatever you decide, just take your time here. So with all that Evil Sun Scarlet applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Cygor Flesh, and we're going to use this to add some little spot highlights to all the red. So we're looking for the gouges and these kind of corners. Like that. Large pieces of grain. Like that sort of thing. We'll come back to that in just a second, because what we're also going to do with the Cygor Flesh is we're going to use this to highlight the Fusil-Major's tunic. So with that done, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some Cygor Brown and I'm going to wipe most of it off our brush. I'm just doing that there on my thumb. And what we're going to do is we're going to add some build-up of dirt by just kind of dabbing at it along the foot of the shield, like that. Then we're going to wash the brush. And we're just going to dab over the top of it with a clean dry brush. Like that. You can do as much or as little of this as you like. Like so. Just like that. So with that now done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down flayed one flesh. We're going to use this to highlight both the ogre and our Fusil-Major's skin. With that flayed one flesh all applied, we're then going to take some Black Legion and we're going to apply this over the top of the ogre and the Major's eyes. Like that. That Black Legion applied. Just whilst we're waiting for it to dry, we're going to take a little bit of Volupus Pink. I'm going to apply this over the top of the gums and the tongue on our ogre. And if you've got the open mouth of the Major, you can apply this in there as well. And so with that done, we're then going to take a tiny little dot of Screaming Skull. I'm going to apply this in the corners of the eyes. But what we're also going to do is we're going to use the Screaming Skull to highlight any parchment, the teeth, and these kind of bits of wood up here, for example. So with that done, we're then just going to take a little bit of Fleshshade Yellow and we're going to apply this in the middle of each of our windows on the lantern. And with that done, we're pretty much finished. The only thing left to do is to add some little writings to the parchments. And what we're going to do first is we're going to take a tiny amount of Corax White. I'm going to use this to add some little lines to the black and the red bits of parchment. Just like that. So with that done, just before we do the other bit of text on the papery bits, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Gryph-Hound Brown, because I definitely didn't forget to do that. I'm going to use this to highlight the gloves and the boots. So with that Gryph-Hound Brown now applied, I'm going to finish things off by taking some Cygor Brown. I'm going to use this to add some little texty lines on all of our skeleton horde parchment. So with the base complete and a decal now applied to the shield, our Fusil-Major on Ogor Warhulk is now finished. I really like him. I think he's really cool, very characterful, and will look great surrounded by somewhere in the region of 30 Fusiliers, why not? A sea of guns with their Major atop an ogre. It doesn't get much better than that. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.